Am I on Naked and Afraid? The answer is no. Do I want to be on Naked and Afraid? The answer is still no. Would I succeed were it to go on Naked and Afraid? Again, the answer is no. I just wanted to answer those questions real quick and just be able to wrap it up now. No. It's not going to be a very long stream because I'm tired. I plan to have an early night of it tonight. I'm not tired enough to go to sleep yet. I don't really feel like watching TV, so I figured, okay, let's go ahead and stream. Cat wants me to watch him eat, of course, because I just walked in the kitchen. As far as he's concerned, means it's time for me to watch him eat. Hi. Hey, Mr. Kitty, look what you've done. It's a nice day for a gray kitty. Yes, you're a good boy. But I don't want to watch you eat right now. No, I don't. Good evening to you. Dark Plague, Slay with Your Girl, Isabella, and Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Good evening. Slay with your girl. You mean like slay your girl? I do slay my wife sometimes, which I mean, but it's so late. It's only 7:55. It's not even quite 8 o'clock yet. Yeah, I mean, it'll be late in an hour or so. And it'll be like, wow, it's past my bedtime. But at the moment, I think I can stream for a little longer. Oh, there in Brazil, it's 23:55, huh? Well, I guess that means it's almost midnight. Well, that's hot, lol. It is. Which is one of the many ways in which I keep it sexy. You know, I've got a cold right now, and you got a couple of choices when you have a cold. You either get a bunch of dirty napkins in your pocket all the time, like this, or you just wipe it on your shirt. You know, neither is an ideal solution, but what are you gonna do? Gage Limmer says, keep it sexy. I will. I will keep it sexy, Gage Limmer. I mean, that's the only way I know how to keep it. I am not familiar with the Diddy scandal. Is it something that came out today or something? Let me see what it's all about. Yeah, well, I got a cold because my friend Cameron came up and visited from Los Angeles, and he he was getting sick when he was here, and then it turned out he I don't know if that's gonna presage uh, a bunch of other music industry stuff or not. Are you bleeding? No, I'm not bleeding. Meth is a hell of a drug. I wish I had some. No, not really. I don't wish I had. meth because I haven't done that in a long time, you know. It's just too hardcore an amphetamine to be sustainable on. But I agree that obviously meth is, you know, when you're young and having fun, it can be a lot of fun. You don't look, yo, bro, you don't look so good. Well, good news for you, new to this, is that I am actually not here for you to look at. I'm offering you instead words. If you don't want words, that's fine. I'm not encouraging you to stay anywhere you don't want to be. And off of that Fenty, I never did any Fenty. I've never done Fenty. I play video games. Not so much anymore. I played a little Minecraft not that long ago. Comanche 3809. I am troll proof. I've been doing this for a long ass time. Scrubs don't bother me. Life advice? Well, I would say if you're young, I would say that the best life advice for you, from me, would be try to preserve your agency for your older self. You know, don't make any big bad life decisions young, if possible. Oh, this is marijuana, of course. You know, I live here in California; it's perfectly legal, and I'm not smoking on camera, so it's fine on YouTube as well. Oh, Jack, if it's marijuana, why do you use a torch? Huh? Tweaker? I use a torch because I don't lose this lighter. The other lighters I'm constantly losing. No, well, butt play may be on the table, but that table doesn't include me. Ha ha ha, worth. Oh, I'm sorry. WTF. Ah ha 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 ha. Yes, indeed. WTF. Hey, at least you knew it looked that way. Yeah, well, I do. I do have experience with meth. I used to be a meth addict a long time ago. So I'm very familiar with. I've blown plenty of my own glass pipes in the day. I used to get these. Uh, like at the liquor store right near where I live, they used to have these little glass tubes with these fake roses came in. But there's really just um, the only reason they have those things is so people can blow them into glass pipes. It's not crack, dumbass. And this is not foil, dumbass. And if I were smoking meth or crack, I wouldn't use aluminum foil. I'm not a teenager. I'd get a glass pipe, obviously. I mean, sure. I don't doubt for a second that if I had a nice piece of meth here, I would smoke it right up. Just like, pow, 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 motherfuckers. But I'm not going to go get any, you know. Say it or I'm unsubscribing. Now, you unsubscribe right now. You are not allowed to stay subscribed. If you take something for getting sleep, then take it, go for a long sleep. Why? Why are you telling me when to go to bed? Manu John. Well, here's the thing, Jay. This weed was very good at one time, but I had too much of it. It's in the freezer, but if you have too much of it and you put it in the freezer, it still dries out in the freezer. It doesn't stay fresh forever, no matter unless you vacuum seal it, right? So and it's still pretty good, but this particular pile has been out of the freezer for a while now. I could keep it in jars. That's true. I could. But I'm just maybe not quite that responsible. I just ordered some seeds actually a couple days ago, um, and it's coming around springtime now. I'll plant some seeds. It does get if I plant too early, it it's still we're not still out of risk of frost. We might get a night that drops below freezing still. So I'm a little wary about planting anything in the ground too soon. But I'll definitely start some in pots here because, I mean, yeah, we have quite a bit of this weed left, but I'm pretty sick of it at this point. You challenged me to try no nicotine November. I mean, maybe challenge me to that late in October. It's March. Yeah. Well, Timothy Aaron Jackson, what I will say about about marijuana is that for me anyway, it's the one fully sustainable drug that has any kind of head impact. Because it's got a diminishing returns kind of a curve to it. Unlike something like alcohol where you can keep drinking more and keep getting drunker. Your father had a 1478 SAT. I had a 1270 SAT. Your father is 200 points smarter than me. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. I've been make your daughter cry. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. First time I smoked weed, I was 14. I smoked out of a pipe underneath the May Company parking lot, where, let's call it 28 years later, my daughter was busted by a cop making out with her date to the like the prom or whatever. It wasn't the prom, it was one of those kind of dances. And she had her shirt off, and the cop walked up because they're not supposed to be parking under there. Same place where I wasn't supposed to be smoking weed, right? And the cop called me to come get my daughter from under the May Company parking lot. I was joking. Are you still my friend? Or you're I sure. I have no problem with you. I don't even know what you're talking about. If you read this comment by United States of America out loud, we will redirect the missiles pointed towards your residence and subscribe to your channel. Oh, well, if I had known you were going to make a threat, I wouldn't have read it out loud. Yeah, alcohol is pretty bad stuff for somebody like me who has trouble, managing his consumption of that particular drug. Donald Douglas Worth, that's his name. That's funny. I had a friend slash next door neighbor from a couple houses ago where he worked with somebody whose name um it was his boss, not it was like he worked in a school. It was basically the county equivalent of a superintendent for LA County Office of Education. Anyway, his name was Royal Lord the Third. Shit you not. His name was Royal Lord the Third. You would think, I would think, like, if I were either Royal Lord the First or Royal Lord the Second, I would not want to continue that tradition for my child. But obviously, both the father and grandfather of Royal Lord the Third felt differently about it than me. Well, this is exciting stuff, friends. I've pooped some more here. I'm not just talking like a teeny little marble of poop. It's not a full-size poop, but, it's a genuine poop offering. Sometimes I sit down and try to poop and just like a marble of poop comes out. You're like, I don't know whether to be happy that I pooped a little bit or just disgusted with myself for pooping such a little bit. This time, we've got a better portion of poo. Portion of poo that better justifies sitting down and pooping, I don't want to waste my time sitting in this boring little room where there's no TV, nothing fun, really. If I'm just going to sit here and make one marble of poop, hardly seems worth the time. But this poop, it's a better poop, It was a regular sized piece of poo, maybe on the smaller side, but not just like a mini poo. When I have those little tiny poos like that, I stand up and go, God damn it, I have a micro pooness. Hilarious jokes. Alright, I guess we're going to have to put in a little bit of time into watching the cat eat. Because otherwise, he'll just keep meowing at me more until I give in. So we might as well just get it out of the way. Then the next thing after that is I will need to eat some antacids because I'm experiencing stomach acid right now. Sometimes called heartburn. I don't like this horrible stomach acid that's in my stomach right now. Yes, you're shedding so much hairs. I don't like it. Can't you be a short hair cat instead? How about that? How about you evolve into a short hair cat? Why don't you evolve? God. If I were a lowly beast like you instead of a sophisticated human like myself, I would evolve already. I don't need to evolve because I'm already a human. But obviously, you need to evolve. You're not trying hard enough. At least evolve into a short hair. If you can't make it all the way to human, I understand. You're just a lowly beast. It's not easy to evolve all the way up to the top like me. But try. Or at least be a short hair. I like to explain these things to my cat. He doesn't like to give me clear indication that he hears and understands what I'm saying, but I know he does. He was on N and A. No, I was not on N and A. I would just watch Naked and Afraid, and I was thinking about how I would never last 1 hour. We were watching the people crying at the end of it, and I was like, I would be crying like that within 1 hour of being dropped off. So the answer to the question, no. I am not on Naked and Afraid. You can't accuse me of clickbait. I just asked the question. Is this man on Naked and Afraid? And the answer is no. So I do promise to answer the question that I pose in the titles, you know. I won't leave you hanging like that. So it's kind of nice actually to have a little bit of an intimate evening stream. The earlier stream was popping. Oh my god, I couldn't believe it got like over 60 on a couple of occasions. Is this man really Jordan Peele? I've been doing kind of that sort of thing. I've been moving towards that because I'm not sure that the titles don't have anything to do with recent success. So I'm going with with what I've been going with, you know. You know what's crazy is I'm not only Rachel's best husband, I'm her only husband ever. Rachel's my only wife, but she's not my only wife ever. I'm really impressed with Rachel for not getting married before she married me. Good job. She was single, childless, and untattooed at 34. Single, childless, and untattooed. That's a score right there. Oh, I wasn't negating what you said. I agree with what you said. I agree. I was saying even more than that. Crazily, I scored a beautiful 34-year-old single, childless, tattooless woman. Like 4 years ago, so like in the 2020s almost. Maybe it was 2020. I don't know. But probably was 2019. Regardless, how impressive is that? If you put down on your dating profile or something, I have 3 criteria for a woman that she must meet. That's it. Everything else I'm flexible about. She must be these 3 things: single, childless, single, never married, childless, and um, Tattooless. There'd be like 3 eligible women. It says, how many eligible matches in, within 100 miles of you? 0. Within 200 miles? 3. I got a booger hanging out my nose? Well, why do you hate to be the one to tell me? You're providing such a useful service. How are we going to find out about it otherwise? She had no kids, pets, tattoos, or exes, ex-husbands, you know? I'm not sure I actually do have such a thing, but in case I do, I appreciate the heads up. Uh, I do tend to keep my boogers in my nose, so it's understandable if there would be near my nose. The apple never falls far from the tree, as they say, and in the analogous parlance, we'd say the booger never falls far from the nose. I'm not sure it's true in either instance, but it is a saying. Stars aligned, and you found a union corn. Yeah, normally you can only find non-union corns, so I was pretty lucky. Oh, sure. She was a little mentally ill, but we fixed that. So it's like, you're never going to get a great deal on a horse at the yearling sale if it doesn't have some kind of weird spot on it, right? You can't get a great deal on, yeah. You know what I'm saying? If you're looking for a great deal at the yearling sale at the horses, then you would need to be like, okay, well, nobody wants that horse because it's got a weird spot on it. But I see the value of the horse except for that weird spot. And I suspect something that everybody else is probably correct to not to suspect the opposite of, which is I suspect that spot might just wash right off. And in this case, that's totally how it played out. It's like once we got her on the right combination of drugs, perfectly sane, like a light switch. It was crazy. It was crazier than she was before she was on the right drugs. I wish you did go on Naked and Afraid. Well, I kind of wish I wish I had already gone on it and successfully completed it. That would be cool. I don't want to go on it anytime now. That's for sure. If I were to go on Naked and Afraid, Karma's Pimp, which kind of biome would you like to see me placed in? Jungle, forest, um, uh, beach, or desert? Jungle, forest, beach, or desert? Oh yeah, okay. Well, I think I'm going to here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put in this question. That's a great idea, Winston's mom. If you went on Naked and Afraid, which environment would you prefer? I just put which location would you want? Which location would you want? Alright, so we got island, jungle, forest, or desert. Well, I'm going to change island actually to Africa. African savanna, where they got lions and elephants and stuff. Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to locate this a little bit better. I'm going to say African savanna, Colombian jungle, I'm going to say uh, let's go with like where should we have the forest be? Like Eastern Europe forest, Eastern European forest, or American Southwest desert. All right, there's our choices. Those are good choices. If you want a naked and afraid, which location would you want? African savanna, Eastern European forest, Colombian jungle, or Southwest American desert? Okay, well, I clarified, Camera Spamp. I clarified, okay? So you're talking about with the Eastern European forest, you're talking about like the kind of forest around here, right? More or less. It's got pine trees and stuff, or other kind of some of them maybe like deciduous trees, but they probably also have some evergreens. It's kind of mountainous, That's forest. Jungle, you're looking at uh, oh yeah, well, I mean, that's one of the key things that makes me want to stay out of the Colombian jungle are the mosquitoes. Canadian forest, I guess, you're also looking at a lot of mosquitoes, probably. Even here in this rather sissified forest, we still have a lot of bugs. We have these hats. They're like kind of like little beekeeper hats, and they have mosquito netting around them for when the face flies start to bug us too much. Because there are all these little face flies. We actually don't get bothered too much by mosquitoes here, but face flies go crazy during certain seasons. Well, here's the thing. You the way they do it now, everybody's given a pot to boil water and a fire starter. Sometimes, depending on there's some strong mosquitoes. That's the power of teamwork, Eric. That's the power of teamwork. Well, I've never been to Florida, but when I was in Louisiana, when I was like 14 years old, the my relatives, they had. Okay, well, look, no matter where you are, they put you somewhere where you have some access to water. Okay, in the desert, you might get kind of gross, stagnant pool of water, but you'll still get some kind of water. The problem with desert mostly is you don't have any good materials for a shelter. You can't you can't build a shelter with a roof in the desert. The other problem with the desert is food is very scarce. You're gonna have basically no game. You'll be lucky if you can get any kind of um, bird or anything. You're mostly gonna get maybe snakes and lizards, right? You're not gonna like trap a pig in the desert, you know. That's that's just not gonna happen. No, because they always put them someplace where there's some kind of body of water that they can get water out of. In the desert, however, whatever that water is it's never gonna have it's never gonna have fish in it. They occasionally a desert stream might have like I might find like a frog or something, but desert streams or sources of water are too stagnant and or trickly to qualify as fish supporting. Okay, so the problem with the desert is a very scarce food and very small number of possible food sources, which links to the scarcity obviously as well. In Africa, there's usually a decent amount of possibility of getting food. So, people who go in Africa, they can get big ass catfish sometimes out of those stagnant, gross pools of water. And if they bring a bow, which I think is always a mistake, if you make your item a bow, you are cursing yourself to long days of high effort attempts to get food that may result in nothing. I mean, I feel confident saying that I have watched every single episode of all now 17, I think, it's either 16 or 17 seasons of Naked and Afraid. I feel very comfortable making that claim. I'm quite sure I watched every single regular episode of regular Naked and Afraid. They have other ones, like Naked and Afraid of Doing the Dishes. But so I feel like I have a bunch of ideas about what comprise good Naked and Afraid strategies and what comprise bad Naked and Afraid strategies. You know, I'm a big believer in the wisdom of attempting to make some kind of footwear, although I understand it's difficult in the wilds. Footwear is not going to stay on your feet particularly well. But especially if you go to if let's say you're in Africa, you might find they often do a dead carcass that has some dried out hide on it, right? Bam, you got yourself some shoes going there. But you need to prioritize that ASAP because people's feet start the show getting super tore up on the insertion hike and then proceed to get ever more torn up. People need to make some kind of an effort to preserve their feet's well being for longer into the show. So, one thing that means is before you go on Naked and Afraid, I should be a Naked and Afraid coming up contestant consultant. Not because I know anything about survival, because I know so much about Naked and Afraid. if you're in Africa, that should be one of your top priorities is finding some old scraps of hide somewhere because there's a lot of animals get killed by lions and stuff in Africa, and making some kind of shoes out of them. And I will say, I do not think that duct tape is a very bad item to bring. Sometimes people bring a roll of duct tape. I think that it's really quite a smart item to bring. Because if I brought, I might bring that if I were going to go on Naked and Afraid. Because then what I'd say is, okay, before we even start this insertion hike, let me make us shoes out of this duct tape. The duct tape shoes seem to work pretty well. It's like I get that the people are going to be all pumped with adrenaline. They're going to be like, let's just get moving here. We got to get started. The day's but you know what? Your hike will go so much faster if you make shoes first. If you put in 45 minutes, an hour making shoes. So I think if I went on Naked and Afraid, I would bring duct tape. That's what I've decided. Not only would I make shoes, I would also put duct tape over some of my parts of my body to keep the sun off of them. So I wouldn't get all sunburned. One of the worst things to see when I'm watching Naked and Afraid, it makes me go like, ah, is when they put this super ginger person in like Sunbroil Island, the island with no shade and relentless sun. But before they do, they'll need to cross these savannas of no shade and relentless sun and lava rocks. I hate to see people getting like horribly sunburned. I mean, the bug watching people get horribly bug bitten is also makes me go, but I can take that a little better than seeing the sunburn. The sunburn just makes me want to cover my eyes. Well, perhaps the worst moment in terms of sympathetic ow on Naked and Afraid history was when EJ, standing on this tree branch, it broke and he ripped open his scrotum. Oh, okay. Jesse Larson, you're being timed out for lack of originality. Are you following the mystery of Kate Middleton and her disappearance plus a photoshopped Mother's Day photo? That sounds juicy. I've not heard anything about it. Where is Kate Middleton? Find out conspiracy theories behind Princess of Wales's disappearance post-operation. Kate Middleton, the British royal, has long been away from the public eye, arousing speculations and conspiracy theories about her absence. The 42-year-old Princess of Wales had a surgery in January and is recovering home after a planned abdominal surgery. Netizens are out with theories suggesting that Prince William's wife is in an induced coma amid speculations that the princess's senior staff members are unaware of her post-recovery process. Meanwhile, some of the staff members informed that she was nowhere to be seen. Moreover, some staff members were unaware of the surgery until it was announced later. Only a few people know what's really going on, and they're tight-lipped. It's confusing and causing some concern. The New York Post quoted a source as saying, As per the report, a shroud of secrecy surrounds her disappearance. Only cancer-stricken King Charles III and his wife Queen Camilla have been guests at the palace. King Charles has cancer? He just became king. Furthermore, controversy sparked after the Princess of Wales shared a family photo of herself with her children on Mother's Day. The photo was found to have been manipulated and was thus withdrawn by news agencies. She said she was just experimenting with editing. What? Did she say that really? Her press release apology said that probably. Probably. It's part of one of the long standing problems Britain has of their famous people dying and being replaced. It started with Paul McCartney. No, I haven't followed that story, Commenti 3809. It sounds very depressing. What is your theory, Rachel? What is your theory? Do you have a theory on it, Rachel? Yeah, SI Polar has a big advantage from those shoes. You're right. That's a shame that he got cancer. I mean, like he had to wait such a long time to become king. Maybe Kate Middleton has been seduced by Meghan Markle. Oh no. Meghan Markle stolen another royal from us. That bitch. Describe America. Okay. It's kind of like, okay. Like, imagine a square, okay? But now make this side of it kind of like this. And this side more like that. Your uncle died from cancer a week ago. I know your pain. That's not my pain. I do look like Shaq, but I'm not Shaq. People always make that mistake. They compare me to Shaq. They think, hey, is that Shaq? But no, I look a lot like you. What were we talking about? I came in at that bitch. We were talking about Meghan Markle. I've concluded that what's happened to Kate Middleton is that now she's run off with Meghan Markle. How many cones can you pull in a row? I don't pull cones, okay? Cones don't get pulled, they get put. And they get put by cone putters. I'm not a cone putter, obviously. Stephen Hawking faked his own death to help Meghan Markle abduct Kate Middleton. Yeah, Meghan Markle is like a curse. I went to school with this guy. He used to chew on kids and try to cast spells. That, sir, is what's known as false testimony. I've ever been to Australia. Oh yeah, Stephen Hawking is totally friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Get me more prostitutes, Jeffrey. Like that. Yeah, it's Meghan Markle's fault that Princess Diana died too. I agree with that. Maddie the Avocado Girl, I do remember you. Because you know what? You're the only avocado girl who's been here. So it's easy to remember you because it's not like I've got Maddie the Avocado Girl and Abby the Avocado Girl and Julie the Avocado Girl. There's only one avocado girl around here, and that is you. Not sure anyone can be blamed for the Queen. You make a good point, Lou. You make an excellent point, but I'm still blaming Meghan Markle for it. I don't believe she died of natural causes. I think Meghan Markle poisoned her. Jin Kim is back. Yo, what's up, my guy? I am back, he says. I don't. I guess that means you've been here before. Welcome back. Jesus is not the Keegan. All right? That's insulting to Jesus to call him a Keegan. I think that's hate speech, right? Keegan? Is Keegan hate speech? Can I say Keegan? Does it depend on what race I am? I'm pretty sure it's hate speech regardless. We don't talk about Julie the avocado girl. Okay. Yeah, well, it's a dark part of our history here on this channel. Jesus is the king, God is God, and all us just some guy who made up a bunch of shit. There. Does that solve it for you? All right, Maggie Avocado Girl. I will keep that in mind. Well, for dinner here is antacids. God damn my old what? Jackson Potts sounds like the name of one of my soulmates that I've drawn. Well, hey, look, it's it's what's her first name again? Maddie the Avocado Girl. Oh wait, no, it's Ruben. Yeah, I'm having a hard time chewing it. Why? Because I have hardly any teeth. That's why. You try chewing things without any teeth. It's not so easy. Okay, stop spamming, spammy pants. God. Somehow, TV Nick1254 squeezed in one extra chat before he got timed out. You're taught on Trump? I'm taught on Trump? Listen, shit for brains. I'm more knowledgeable and informed about all manner of politics and every other thing than you would be in a billion of your lifetimes. So just zip it. You don't know me. Huh? Happy Birthday is actually a copyrighted song, you know. I might run into copyright problems. Triple C, I will tell you happy birthday, Triple C 2727. That's why we need to know. That's why you need to know what? What do you need to know? What do you suppose that you need to teach me? Why don't you go ahead and teach me what I need to know? Can you touch my head? Sure, go ahead. Not with your dick, dude. God. Anthony, I trusted you to let you touch my head and you go and put your penis on it. Do I watch Has Been Hotel? I've never heard of it. I have not. Is it a show that features a lot of avocados? Come on, chat. Let's be civil here. Who's not being civil? Oh, you're talking about Anthony. Well, yeah, okay, fair enough. I agree that wasn't civil of him. You and Peter Kane would get along? I don't know. Peter Kane, he sounds like a sus guy to me. Who is this Peter Kane fellow? Let's keep this PG, please. I make no promises. I make the following promise in all instances. I will do all I can in my part to ensure that this is a safe and non-predatory place for everybody. But I cannot promise it'll be age appropriate. I'm not making any comments about you. I'm just making comments about if and when. Uh, Hilarious, Ruben. Hilarious. Ask a dumb question. Have I seen football? Football? Is this some new sport they've invented? All right, but I immediately shut it down, right? I immediately shut it down. That's the point. World famous Peter Kane dog trainer, specialist on the subject of cryptids. Oh, well, I find cryptids fun. I I have no opinion on your age, Maddie. I can't see your little circle. I have to walk up to the TV to look at it. They are trolling me? Who's trolling me? Man, you one luck bastard. We like you. I don't feel like I'm being trolled. How am I doing? I am doing well. Matthew Cornelius, how are you doing? And also, what are you doing? My name is Eric. Troll's a troll. Sure. I appreciate their efforts, you know. I like watching them struggle in vain. It's not so fun when they get mad and nasty, you know, but what else am I gonna do but just continue to frustrate them? I mean, there's super chat if you really want to. Marksman 8. Yes, Maddie, I figured that might be your name. And I'm assuming your last name is the Avocado Girl. Because everybody uses their Christian name, so to speak, right? When they My Christian name is Talking with Famous People. First name, Talking, last name, People. Middle name, with. Famous. With famous. It's one word. It's my middle name. It seems to me that in a video for Man-Eater by Hall & Oates, and correct me if I'm wrong, I could be imagining some other video. Thank you very much, whoever super chatted. Seems to me in the video for Man-Eater, they do this dance. Whoa, here she comes. Watch out, boy, she'll cheer you up. Am I imagining that? Or do they do that dance in that video? I think that's kind of a very 80s dance. What? Do you have any kind of... I've never been to a Billy Joel concert. But what? Meow, meow. Okay. Fine. Fine. I should have just watched him eat for full last time. I don't know. Can you behave yourself? Can you behave civilly? You need to control your frustration, okay? That means don't get nasty. Even if things don't go exactly as you want in your attempts to spar with me, all right? You thirsty? Oh. Yes, RXY will talk with you. Right now I'm taking a shit with my jar of moonshine and my vape. I'm as relaxed as I'll ever be. Well, good for you. Hopefully relaxation is the solution to the okay, well. Fortunately for me, I've been doing YouTube for a long time. So I know where the lines are. I know what comprises what. What is the holly fudge? What the holly fudge in the holly fudge is behind you? My refrigerator and a case of waters. Okay, well, it's also because I care for you, RXY, that I should tell you it's very ill-advised, does nobody any good, and really represents a kind of unacceptable arrogance for you to tell other people what to do. So, because I care for you, I'll tell you that. Thank you, Roy Valbuena. And also, Roy Valbuena again. Thank you twice. Yeah, on top of the fridge is a case of waters. Eric, you really have 10 subs with multi-accounts. They must have a lot of accounts. Yeah, it's Papa Dean 69. What did you say this time? I am a little surprised that you talked about for saying there's no saving me, unless there was something above that, maybe. I'm glad my voice helps your colon out. I am. Your voices all help my colon out as well. Is that what got you timed out? That's fine. It's a short time out. You'll be all right. Isaac and Cam YouTube, hello. You ever do a backflip for no reason at all? I don't think I could do a backflip no matter how compelling a reason I had. I don't want to do that, pedal range bender. You know why I don't want to do that? I can guarantee you it will have dramatically less impact on the channel than me spending the same amount of time doing exactly what I'm doing right now. It's crazy. Yeah, Padawan subs, that's Padawan range bender, that's not a good way for me to get subs. Believe me, I've been doing YouTube a long time. What's happening right now has never happened before. I currently have almost 11,300, 11,296, okay? In the last 28 days, I've gained 1,700 new subs. I never gained those kind of subs from any kind of long form video. And even if I were to gain subs from that, the thing to remember is I'm not going to keep making those. They're subscribing to something I don't do. I mean, they they do, that's true, but that's not the best way to get subs, certainly not for me, right? Because this is what I actually want to do. I'm willing to do efforty things if I felt like they have a big payoff, right? A big a big reward for investment of either time or resources or energy or whatever. Or if I want to do it, right? Like so I used to make more uploaded videos, long form videos because I wanted to make them. Occasionally I still will do that. Feel like making a long form video, you know? But well, that's not the way almost anybody does though. Your experience is the exception, not the rule. For for me, the critical element though is also that um, that I know what I'm going to keep doing. The same thing I've been doing almost 95% of the content I put out for the last multiple years, at least 95% have been live streams. If you did it by time, it would be vastly higher than that even. It'd be like 99.999% probably. But I mean, I make this kind of content. This is what I mostly do. I just live stream. In recent months, I've begun vertical live streaming, and uh, you know, I'm right now YouTube's promoting that. I'm trying to take advantage of that reality as long as possible, as much as possible, because every time I live stream, I gain 30, 40 subs. It seems like it's crazy. I am a correctist puffer man. So I'm neither left wing, right wing, nor chicken wing on every specific. Yeah, well, I agree with you, Jim Kim. That's my strategy. Just keep doing what I'm currently doing, which is whatever I feel like. If it's working right now, don't change that. That's a lot easier to do than trying to um than trying to sustain some plan of effort, right? Anyway, I'm correct about each specific policy issue, and I don't have any alignment with anything other than being correct. Oh, Trump. You're such a goofball. So, um, anyway, it's very volatile in the stream at any given moment. I go from 7 to like 30 to 15. It moves around quite a bit. Obviously, the vast majority of people who stop by here don't end up subbing. You just are here for 5 seconds and leave or whatever. Don't say anything. I never even know they're here really. But well, I mean, neither of those would be good campaign stickers, for instance, Mom. But if I were forced to pick one, I'd pick the second one because at least it's sort of relevant to running a political campaign. I mean, I've got almost 8,000 uploaded long form videos. That does not include my live streams, which I have multiple thousands of those, I'm sure. And doesn't include shorts. I've got lots of those as well. So you name it, I've tried it. I've got comedy videos, I've got typology videos, I've got music videos, I've got philosophy videos, I've got videos about evolution, I've got videos about religion, I've got videos about art, I've got every video thing you can imagine. I've got outings that I edit into highlights of the day videos. I have every kind of video you can imagine. What about gun policies? Well, I mean, it's not really there's not really any policy questions regarding guns. The Supreme Court's been clear that Second Amendment um, confers onto the individual an individual right to own a gun. Uh, so, obviously, the federal government doesn't need to be involved in gun legislation at all. The proper way for it to be going down is states can make gun legislation and then they can test the legitimacy of that in the courts. So anybody who's advocating for federal gun legislation has just got their head up their ass. Well, that's not what the Supreme Court ruled. You may believe that the Constitution confers on the individual a right to bear an arm because that's what the language of the Constitution says. But that's not what I was saying. I didn't say, here's what the Constitution says. Here's what the Supreme Court ruled. I agree with you, that's what the Constitution says, but that's not what the Supreme Court ruled. Yeah, that cat's name is Capillo, actually. Tibby's pretty close to Capillo. Obviously, the job of, say, the president, which would be an office I would run for, is not to unilaterally overturn the decision of the Supreme Court. So, it's irrelevant. Personally, I just think gun laws obviously don't work, right? If gun laws prevented gun violence, then all those myriad federal gun laws that already exist would be preventing gun violence. Kopio means sweetheart, I believe, in Hawaiian. Would I own a rocket launcher if the law allowed it? No. And, that's one of the reasons why the Supreme Court doesn't evaluate the right to bear arms as a natural right. In other words, they didn't rule that you have the right to bear arms. They ruled you have the right to own a handgun. Big difference, right? Well, right, Val Buena, I don't blame you for not supporting any of them. They're terrible. I don't have a van. I have a Mini Cooper, actually. Mini Cooper four-door Countryman. What about campaign funds? Well, it's very difficult to really meaningfully regulate money in politics without running afoul of people's free speech rights and political speech or offering money to political candidates and stuff as a form of political speech. And it's very difficult to curtail that meaningfully. Yes, good point, Winston Mom. And a little wilderness car. I've got a Mini Cooper and a little wilderness car. Even though we're a couple, we only have one car. One street legal car. Little wilderness car is it's not especially efficient. I don't have a very sporty one. The four door that I have is actually quite large inside. It's I'm 6'5", and I can fit comfortably enough in here in this car. And as you see, I've got god damn this thing. I need another tripod. I cannot handle this tripod anymore. As you can see, I have personalized license plates that say TWFP, which, for those who couldn't guess, stands for Talking with Famous People. And as you see, it has four doors. Well, you can't really see because it's too dark back there. But it does have four doors, trust me. But my dad had a two-door. After he died, I had both a two-door and a four-door for a while. And I drove both of them. The two-door was a serious sports car. That thing flew. It was just so fast. It accelerated so fast. This car here is, it's a stick shift. But, if I'm going up a hill, it's like, come on, you can make it. It's like that kind of car. That was Sasquatch, Puffer Man. That was Sasquatch. He comes around a lot, asking for you. Saying, what's up, where's Puffer Man? And I said, he's not here right now. Well, I won't bribe you for your vote. Because the reason you probably vote for me, and people should, is because I actually am a principled person of character, especially when it comes to politics. Right? I mean, not just, I shouldn't say especially, but I take our citizen democracy seriously. I was raised to be a patriot, It's a great tragedy to me to see what's happened to policy discourse, public exchange about politics in general. It's just a disaster right now. What the country needs to experience is a president who is continually demonstrating what a reasonable person engaging in good discursive habits does. Here are two people who definitely do not demonstrate that. Trump, Biden. I think if either Trump or Biden want to be president, they should have to go on Naked and Afraid. Instead of us voting between those two just completely worthless options, I think what we should do is have them compete on Naked and Afraid to see who gets to be president. If they both make it to the end, they become co-president. Tonight on a very special episode of Naked and Afraid. Trump walks in. Oh, I see another naked person here. Biden like, oh, I don't know. I don't know. You see Trump like complaining about his partner. He's just not pulling his weight. And they show Biden like drooling off to the side. He's fired. And Trump is kind of wandering around in this kind of weird post-sanity state. He's fired. He's fired. And the Naked and Afraid crew are looking at each other. I've never seen this happen within 6 hours of insertion. That's what I tell my penis before Rich and I have sex. I said, get ready for your insertion hike. And it goes, oh yeah, I am ready for it. I don't really say that, actually. I probably should, though. I should inform my penis what's coming up. Get ready for your insertion hike. Really, when my penis goes on Naked and Afraid inside of my wife, it's nothing but insertion and extraction hikes. Insert, extract, insert, extract. Like, it never even sets up a BOMA or anything. Man took too much Xan. Who took too much Xan? Is Xan, Xanax? I'm not tweaking. I'm not even on any amphetamines at all. I was on amphetamines a couple of days ago. But, you might be right there in your assessment of things, Roy Valbuena. I don't want to do. I do cat videos every day when I live stream. When I watch my cat eat, okay, and you get to watch them as well. Here we see a regular gray cat eating food. I don't want to do shorts. You're full of advice of me doing things other than what I'm currently doing. I tell you what, why don't you do those things? We don't need a third party. We need a good president to reset the country's attitude, talking points, discursive habits, whatever else you want to say. I hope to become that good president. I do plan on running in 4 years. So, hey, it's Uruguay. Hi, Uruguay. Do you know, Andres, that Uruguay is okay? Well, regardless, Winston's mom. Uruguay is one of my favorite World Cup teams, by the way. That's what I was getting at. Regardless, Winston's mom, you need to be able to communicate effectively, whether it's because of his dentures, his stutter, or whatever else. He's not doing a better job of communicating with the American public than Trump was. I hear even I hear almost nothing from Biden. The job of president, first and foremost, needs to be to speak clearly and truthfully what is correct to the American people. I didn't say I was going to win, Jen Camp. I said I was going to run. Okay? Will you let an old man run for president, please? Well, I mean, we need to change the way that we Americans think about politics, public policy, and our citizen democracy. The only thing that's going to change that is a voice from the bully pulpit of the presidency. And as far as I can tell, there's only one voice that is truly qualified to speak from that position, and that voice is mine. I know it sounds insane, but I have heard plenty of people talking politics, and I have never heard anybody speak about it as cogently as I do. Hey, you got a good point there, Roy Valbuena. I have an advantage. I look even older than I am, apparently. Everybody mistakes me for their grandfather. Spoon Man, I love you too. Again, I didn't say I was going to win the presidency. I said that I was going to run for president, and if I were to win it, I would certainly speak the truth. If you think that precludes me from winning it, fine. But that's what my plan is. The president of Uruguay is Lacal Poo. Lacal Poo is another person who sounds like um, who sounds like the name of one of the soulmate drawings I've made. Well, okay, I'm not disagreeing with you regarding the duplicitousness of communication that typifies presidents. I'm not going to disagree with you there. I am. I'm like 98. Okay, just to say, I am somewhere between 1 and 100. Biden is a fraud. I'm brown for you. Nobody's ever been brown for me before, Spoon Man. What does it mean to be brown for me? Yeah, of course he doesn't have the money for that. Luis Local Poo was a real person. He is a real person. You're also between 1 and 100? Cool. Michael Obama or Michelle Obama? Is there a Michael Obama? I think they only have daughter, right? Michael Obama is a man baby? Is he Barack Obama's kid? I thought they only had a daughter. But oh, I do not want to do a Naked and Afraid in Oakland, believe me. Oh, Michelle is Michael. Okay. Well, here's what I will tell you. Uh, Michelle Obama and Barack Obama's marriage, it has to be a sham marriage because nobody wants to get on Michelle Obama. I'm sorry. She just obviously, like, she's got this whole Hillary Clinton vibe going on, kind of. Because I think she's a lesbian. No, no, that's not a problem. There's something just not attractive about her at all. I don't know. Same with Hillary Clinton. I don't think Hillary Clinton's a lesbian, but she's got that same sort of like, this woman is not for humping thing going on, you know? You think Barack Obama suffered domestic violence? They're all lesbians. All of them. All those women out there, they're lesbians. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a lesbian, okay? I'm just trying to explain to myself, I guess, how, like, there's certain women like Margaret Thatcher, Hillary Clinton, Michelle Obama. They just have this, like, we aren't for humping thing about them, you know? We've got important stuff to do. We're not for humping. Thanks, Pufferman24. What's my bra size? Well, you are Angela Merkel. Sure, put her in that category too, right? But you know who else I definitely put in that category? Meghan Markle. Boy, what a horrible person. Okay, you're hitting me in my insecurities here, Pufferman. I still wear a training bra. I've been waiting for years to grow into an A cup. No, I don't like Trump at all. Well, Lou, you know, enough. Just, it's fine. Anyway, I don't believe in Bill and Hillary Clinton's love, and I don't believe in Barack and Michelle Obama's love. I also don't believe in any love between Trump and his wife. Are they still even together? I think they are, right? Like me and Rachel, we actually love each other. This marriage has no political purpose. It's totally random. Okay, well, Melania does not love him. Tell you that much. No, I hate Trump. I absolutely hate him. The man abdicated his responsibility to both represent all the people of the country, not just his base, And he further abdicated his responsibility to meaningfully communicate with the American people, instead firing off fucking self-serving tweets. He's a disgrace to the dignity of the office. Yeah, I could vote, of course. Why wouldn't I be able to vote? Yeah, Jada Smith and Will Smith, they do not love each other. For sure, they don't. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry do not love each other, but that's because Meghan Markle has just turned him into her victim of choice, you know? Elon Musk, not a particularly bright guy, but obviously a very successful guy, effective in finding certain kinds of solutions to certain kinds of problems, you know? Pufferman, I don't evaluate people on dumbass group labels. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, gay, straight, lesbian, whatever, right? It doesn't matter at all to me. You are an individual human being first. I'm not going to subject you to stupid groupist reduction to make things less nuanced so I can handle them. Who is this guy? This guy is Eric. Who are you? Well, you know what? I understood that it could be read as such, but I chose not to read it as such. And I'll tell you why. Because if you were talking about laundry, you would have talked about the whites and the coloreds. Okay, keep that in mind. So clearly you weren't talking about a washing machine. In a washing machine, blacks are called coloreds. Hilarious jokes. You got color bleach? How can they have color bleach? The bleach removes color and replaces it with just nothing, just whiteness or just yellowishness or whatever, right? Yeah, creek water when you go mud topping is good enough for us. Good enough for me and Jenny Sue. Right, it is almost an oxymoron, right? Color safe bleach. Is that like drunkenness free alcohol? All right, I'll see you later, Jen Cam. I'll tell you a cool war story. So, it was, I guess, a few months after I was born. The day of my birth arrived. I popped out the womb. The next day, I jumped over Grand Canyon on a horse. Within a few months, I was enlisting into the Army to go fight in Vietnam. And at one time, I was leading my squad against Charlie, as we called them, you know. I was still in diapers, but strong for my age, bold. So I was promoted quickly. And what happened was the Viet Cong popped out, and before I even could blink, like half of my squad was oiled, as we used to say, greased, you know. Dead is another way of putting it. So I stood up and I shouted in my baby voice, "Move, move, move, you sons of bitches." And then I threw a grenade. I blew up a nest of Charlie. I ran out of there with my AK-47. Just, And then they gave me the Bronze Star and the Congressional Medal of Honor and a Purple Heart and another Purple Heart for my other wound later. And then the Nobel Prize for Peace, because I ended up ending that war. I was one who said, let's just call this shit right here. I'm done. That's a pretty cool war story. Oh, wait. Did you mean you wanted a story from a cool war? Because Vietnam wasn't a cool war. I'll need to come up with a World War II story if you want a cool war, where we were the good guys, definitely. To be an expert in a dying field. The Beths have a song called An Expert in a Dying Field. I like it a lot. It gives me goose pimples. Makes me feel this sense of like existential resonance or something. It tends to give me goose pimples. Jizz is in the air. Is that what that is? Is that man seed? Am I the singer from Korn? No, I'm not. Yeah, well, Vietnam vets especially. Korean and World War II vets at least got uh, a public that respected their sacrifice and stuff. Vietnamese vets, the Vietnam War vets they didn't get the respect and recognition they deserved because people were so opposed to that war, and they tended to conflate it with the soldiers. My dad was in Korea, but only technically. He was on a boat during the Korean War that was near Korea. Okay, so it's like, does that really count as being in Korea? I don't really think so. But anyway, technically, he was, you know, on an active duty ship near Korea during the Korean War. So I guess that makes him, technically part of the Korean War. And then when he got out of the Navy, finally, he joined the Army because he got so seasick. But he was on the USS Bradford. He used to wear that hat periodically. He had a hat that just said USS Bradford on it. It's a nice looking hat. But one of the reasons he didn't wear it that often is he hated it when people came up and thanked him for his service. He just couldn't stand it. Just let your sister go outside without you feeling like, oh, I gotta go bully her now. Where's the cat food? Here it is. Here you go, Trouble. Here's some more food for you. Big brute. Cat like Brutus. He is like olive oil. The only thing that's different from that analogy is that Trouble is castrated. He was castrated too late. So he retained all of his dickishness, but at least he doesn't actually try to hump her. Okay, there. I wasn't making anything, I was feeding the cat. Unfortunately, no, we didn't get him snipped. If the authorities hadn't come and grabbed him from the street, taken him away, snipped his balls, he would never be our cat. He would have been way too feral to force his way into our house. I really am rather annoyed at animal control, not considering unintended outcomes, like people who were perfectly happy with one cat now having two cats. But of course, I love him very much, you know. But he continues to be a pain in the ass, you know. I've never had such a conflicted relationship with a pet before. Eric, can you be my dad? Makes me sad to remember that my father was a deadbeat when he could have been someone like you. Well, I can't be your dad because I have a child already, and her name is Delilah, and she's 25 years old. I'm sorry that your dad was a deadbeat. I was definitely not a deadbeat dad. I was a good father, or as good as I could be anyway. I like when my first wife and I split, I definitely wanted full custody or as close to it as I could get. My big concern was that I might not get it. It turned out that my ex-wife didn't really even care, and she didn't really even want parenting responsibilities, so it didn't turn out to be a problem. Cats will be cats. Cats are God's gift to earth. Well, some of them more than others, though, you know? I love Trouble, but he is definitely trouble. He's like, well, you remember what happened last time I let you do that, Anthony Janata? This time, keep it in your pants, okay? I can't believe I'm trusting you again. All right, that's better. This time it was just his breast he used to touch my forehead. A little less forward. It's like, okay, example of how this cat's constantly in trouble. We have a cat door that goes into the garage and then another cat door that goes to the outside. But Trouble doesn't like to use the cat door because he wants me to have to walk over here and open the door for him. Trouble! And then he goes right out there and starts chasing Capillo. What a dick! Yeah, he lives up to his name all the time. You know, I never get to sleep with Capillo anymore. because Trouble won't let her near the bed that I'm sleeping in. So now Capillo sleeps with Rachel, Trouble sleeps with me, and even Rachel and I can only sleep for a little while together at the start of the night because Trouble gets out of the bed and he's like, all right, you two, move over. I need a full 2 people's worth of room to stretch out my massive cat body. He's a huge cat. Hi, Chad Linton. How are you? Hi, Amanda. How are you? Hi, Anthony Janata. How are you? I do remember when Ronald Reagan was president. It was like, I think he may have still been president at the beginning of my college years. But I started college in 89. So it may have been he finished in 88. I'm not sure. He's jealous, so he makes sure to sleep between us. And yeah, it stretches out diagonally. Like if I'll scoot over to give him a little more room, then he'll scoot more over and push up against me again. He wants to be pushed up against me. He has this horrible habit of when once Rachel's left, then he'll go and try to lie on my feet. Now, when he does that, I actually kick him off of my feet. I'm like, okay, you have to get off of me. No, 21 Savage is not on my playlist. No, I don't remember when Thomas Jefferson was still president. Amelia Carter says, hello, born and from America, U.S. Well, hello. I am also born and from America, U.S. Can you draw me playing Not Naked and Afraid? No, I cannot. ES7 Elias says, check mark, satellite. Rachel says, I like the 21 Savage song a lot. Really? Huh. When, what the hell is skibbity bombaclats? It's just some youth culture term that means, well, skibbity just means like dumbass or just muggity thing, just like kind of it means whatever adjective. But bombaclats is a Rastafarian term meaning like idiots, fucktards, whatever you want to call it, You want to sing us another song? Okay. His album Without Warning is so insane. Whose album Without Warning? 21 Savage? Is it a guy? Eric, just call it brain rot. It's easier that way. Yes, it's nighttime. It's almost 10 o'clock, and I'll be going to bed pretty soon here. I'm going to take a couple of gabapentins here in a second, and then start to wind down, wrap this up relatively soon, try to go to bed. Maybe as a baby. Not that I recall, other than that. I will play a song. What should I play? Let me pull this bong up and then I'll play a song. I guess, let's see how many people are here. 26. So I kind of try to decide, I kind of try to decide based on who's here and how many people have heard me play Meow before, right? Gabapentin is not a good nerve medication. I don't really take it as that. I just take it to make me sleepy. Now I can't play Jesus Walks by Kanye West. And no, I can't play any Insane Clown Posse. My stage name's Eric. It just incidentally happens to be the same as my actual name. That wasn't on purpose. 21 Savage Without Warning was for sure the album of the year 2017. And Metro Boomin might be top 5 best rap producers. Huh. Well, you know, my current favorite rapper is Baby No Money. Alright, so I'll play this song because if, for anybody who's not heard it before, this tends to be immediately likable by people. Here we go. No, they won't copyright strike me. If I play a cover, sometimes it results in the copyright owner taking all the revenue from that video, which is no big deal. I just don't feel like playing a cover right now. He's Gregory in disguise, hands in his pockets. Now he's walking down the drive, averts his eyes. He doesn't want you guys to realize that he's Gregory in disguise, hands in his pockets. Now he's walking down the drive, averts his eyes. He doesn't want you guys to realize that he's Gregory in disguise. He hates the lies, wants to confront the men, always telling them. But every time he tries, they only run and hide. Again he is denied the chance to yell at them, because he's Gregory in disguise, hands in his pockets. Now he's walking down the drive, averts his eyes. He doesn't want you guys to realize that he's Gregory in disguise, hands in his pockets. Now he's walking down the drive, averts his eyes. He doesn't want you guys to realize that he's Gregory in disguise. He hates the lies, wants to confront the men, always telling them. But every time he tries, he only run and hide. Again he is denied the chance to yell at them, until the bridge brings a new approach. Sneakily he'll try to encroach up on the guilty then, because he get the chance to yell at them. He's Gregory in disguise, hands in his pockets. Now he's walking down the drive, averts his eyes. He doesn't want you guys to realize that he's Gregory in disguise, hands in his pockets. Now he's walking down the drive, averts his eyes. He doesn't want you guys to realize that he's Gregory in disguise. So there you go. And that's one to grow on. He's Gregory, hands in disguise, hands on his ball sack. That's not what it says. Hey, the Avocado Girl's back. It's Maddie the Avocado Girl. Is that jazz hands? It's, you may not, I don't know if you're aware of this, Roy Valbuena, but that is a great compliment to say, why does this song sound familiar? Because it's good. When you hear a new song that's good, you'll be like, this sounds like something I've heard before, but I've definitely never heard it before. That's a sure sign it's good. What's my best relationship advice? only get into a relationship with somebody that you actually like a lot, you're actually attracted to a lot, etc. Try your best to avoid getting in a relationship where you're making compromises. I don't think either Rachel or I feel like we have to make any compromises in this relationship. I actually thought you meant jazz hands, you know? Yeah, I'm gonna skip on. I'm gonna nix from right away. Thank you, Roy. I greatly appreciate it. No, I don't listen to Toby Keith. Um, I'm gonna eliminate from my possible choices the jungle because I don't want that many bugs. Okay. Um, African savanna is not a terrible choice. I'm not so afraid of lions. I trust in my boma to keep me safe. Probably. I've seen enough people go into Africa have lions right next to their camp and stuff, and then none of them ever get eaten. So I'm thinking my boma is going to be good enough. That's one reason I'm thinking, okay, Africa. One of the disadvantages is the most animals that can actually kill you are there, right? But I might go American Southwest Desert. At least I'm familiar with it. I live in the American Southwest, not necessarily in the most deserty parts of it, but I know how the deserts roll, you know. It's gonna be hot, but you'll be put somewhere near water, so I agree with the consensus that the Colombian jungle is least attractive as an option based on its 18%. So I think I'm going to wrap this poll up here. 380 votes almost in 1 hour. That is very impressive. This is crazy. It's like I, I I never would have imagined I would ever get 379 votes on any poll ever. Crazy. These days, shit's just it's like a whole new experience on YouTube for me. It's wonderful. All right, well, the winner is Eastern European Forest. Not a bad choice. I think there's less food there than you think, and it's gonna get ultimately colder than the desert, probably. Cold concerns me, so I'm gonna go with the desert. I don't get to vote on my own poll. They don't let you vote on your own poll, but um, that's what I would have voted for if I could have voted. No, I don't like either Trump or Biden. Now I'm gonna end the stream now. Actually, Eliana Diaz. I've already streamed a lot today. I'm not on any Adderall. I'm just on enthusiasm for streaming, which is great too. It's like life feels so fun again, finally. I'm happy. It's wonderful. So thank you all for being here. It's because you guys are here that I am enjoying life so much in general. That's a large part of it anyway, and I appreciate it. So talk to you tomorrow. Love you all. Have a good night.